Well, I've come across what appears to be an abandoned garage. These abandoned places really attract me for the potential compositions they have to offer. They're just interesting to explore, and I like the aesthetic that they have to offer. So right now I'm going to do some walking around, see what sort of composition I can find. I'm certain I will, and then set up and take a shot. Well, obviously while walking around places like this, you need to be careful where you're stepping. Watch out for nails and other obstacles. So if the video is a little shaky, I apologize as I try to maneuver around some of these things. When I originally arrived, it was overcast, but now the sun has come out, which is creating hot spots, which will affect any potential compositions that I may find, but that's okay. So I'm going to head into this slightly darker area now. The video is lightening up quite a bit. Any potential composition that I may find in here, of course, will have a quite long exposure due to reciprocity failure. I'm using Ilford FP4 today, which has a typical reciprocity failure for an X-grain film. That door is pretty interesting right there. I kind of like that. This place is kind of small, which is good. I mean, yeah, the bigger the place, the more you have to explore. There's a lot of stuff strewn about, which might make it difficult to find a composition. Again, could be interesting though, because it offers so many different things. Well, let's see if I can fit through here with the camera. Alright, there we go. Oh, stepping on some things. I just find places like this very interesting. I mean, aesthetically speaking, it offers a lot of photographic potential, but I am interested generally in the history of the place also. It appears to be some sort of garage, but I can't really tell, to be honest with you. It is near the road. I don't know if you can hear cars as they drive by. Always have to be conscientious of people in places like this. Well, potential squatters and so forth. I did actually walk around when I first arrived just to make sure it was generally safe. So I'm heading back the way I came now. Haven't really found anything to photograph yet. I mean, obviously there's lots of... I haven't really found anything to photograph yet. Obviously there's lots of potential, but nothing is jumping out at me. This boat is very interesting, but it's not lit well, so I'll probably pass on that. But here is another potentially interesting composition. This window with this wall here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a hand print up here that could be of some potential interest. So perhaps I'll set up and take that now. Well, this handprint is pretty high up on the wall. Hopefully my tripod is tall enough to get the composition that I want. I will definitely probably have to try to find something to stand on to see the ground glass. I really won't know until I get the camera put on there and the lens. I'm thinking about shooting this with a 300 millimeter. So I'm going to get the camera set up now and the lens put on, find something to stand on, and then start the composition. Actually, I think the tripod will be high enough. I actually think I'm up too high right now, so I will have to adjust that. Help if I tighten down my. It'd help if I tighten down my ball head here, so the camera won't move. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna cut the video now, put the lens on, and drop the tripod down a little bit. I've got a little bit of finagling to do to get the composition. I'm gonna concentrate on that, but I'll come back to the video here in a little bit. Okay, well, I just finished taking this photograph. I did end up having to find a bucket to stand on, which was no problem around here. I found one actually just a few yards over that way. To see the back of the ground glass. The tripod didn't go as high as I'd like it to go, so I ended up having to do a little bit of a upward angle tilt here, and then straightened out the perspective and the focal plane with the front and rear standards. Ended up photographing with a 210mm lens instead of a 300mm lens, just to get the composition that I had envisioned. There was a lot of little micro adjustments that I had to make with the camera, which were pretty frustrating. I spent actually a lot of time on it, which won't be indicated in the video, but trust me, behind the scenes there was quite a bit of frustration going on just to get all the lines straight and get that focus right how I wanted it. Even now I'm still questioning whether or not I nailed it just the way I wanted to, but such are the joys and pains of shooting with 8x10. I ended up underexposing the shot by about 1.5 to 2 stops, and I'm going to over-process the film to get the amount of contrast that I envision in the scene, or at the actual finished photograph, because the scene itself is pretty low in contrast, and I'd like it to be a lot higher. That's just the way I'm envisioning it. So I would like to take more photographs around here. It's a pretty interesting place. Hopefully I can come back. If not, that's okay. But right now I'm pretty worn out. Like I said, I spent a lot of time on this, and I'm going to get packed up and get headed out, and hopefully this photograph turns out well.